certified. Bill is also a past USPTA Southern President and an Allen Henry Tennis Professional of the Year Award here in the Southern Division. Please help me welcome Bill Phillips.
Thanks, everyone. This is going to be a little different. I wish that I had been ahead of Stan instead of behind Stan, because I was so impressed with what he did and how he broke things down and really got us thinking out there about how we teach tennis lessons. This is going to be athletic skill development for kids, and we're going to start by talking about little kids and what we mean when we're talking about kids that are prepubescent kids, those kids that are under the age of 12. And I think what I'd like to do is make this as interactive as possible and have as many people who are willing to come out here, and we'll do some of this stuff. So if we can begin making our way here, as many people as would like to. And then we'll look into elementary aspects of agility, balance, and coordination. And then we'll turn around and we'll look at some more complex stuff that's being done by high performance. And then what I'd like to do as well is, as we're doing these activities, what are you doing in your lesson program that you like? What are you doing that may be at a higher level? Or if we're doing something simple, can we make it even more simple for those little kids who may be challenged as far as their development and motor skills? So what we're going to start with is agility. And actually, we're going to start with balance. And what is balance? Does anybody know what balance is and what does it mean? Balance. So I've got the definition here. This is not a got you moment or anything. The ability of the body to maintain a state of equilibrium while either stationary or moving. Okay? So we'll talk about that. We got 3. Actually, I probably need about 10 to 20 people out here if we're going to do this right. In all age groups, we'll take the senior citizens, we'll take the infirm, and we'll take the young guys who just seem to relish being on the court. And I think that's good, because we'll see what people are capable of. Some of this stuff, and I'll get Lane, because Lane works with senior people, some of this stuff we can maybe do with seniors, and some of this stuff may be absolutely inappropriate, and we'll talk about that too. So something as simple as a 1-ball pickup. So if I give Dan a ball, and I give Robert a ball, and I ask you to set the ball down next to you, and then I ask you to lean down and pick it up off your opposite leg. So right here, I'm going to pick it up like this, or I'm going to pick it up like this. This is simple stuff, right? Pretty simple stuff. Let's challenge the young guys to see if they can go down to this position and pick it up, okay? Start the easy way. Start the easy way, which like I showed you, just bending your leg and picking it up. Bending your leg. Dan's so tall, he just kind of, like a derrick, just leans over. Okay, now let's start with extending the leg. There you go, there you go. And it's funny, the girls that I get to do this pretty simple. So that's a little simple balance thing. What else could we do here? Anybody think of anything else we could do here with picking up the ball? Just something as simple as picking up the ball. Picking up behind you. Show us that, Gary. Okay, good. And that's a nice little modifying move there. Okay, now we'll go from that to what the little kids like is something simple like walking along a line. So let me get our more seasoned people just come and walk along a line. And what I tell the little kids when we're working with them is if you step off that line, it's 1,000 feet into a pit of alligators or something like that. So you got to give them a sense of urgency to be able to stay on the line. That's simple stuff, right? It's like a little bridge. Okay, that's simple. Let's make it a little more complex. Let's make it a little more complex. You guys know what these are? These are the shop rags that you can buy. Come on over. Everybody. Find somebody that's about your size. Somebody that's about your size. Okay? Everybody got one? You got a partner?
One per partner.
Yeah, one per partner. You got a partner? Everybody got a partner? Okay. So what we're going to do is have, what's your name? Lawrence. Lawrence is going to walk along the line, and Robert is just going to jostle him a little bit. Okay? So you're going to hold on to it, Lawrence. You're going to walk a little bit, stay on that line. You're going to try to pull him a little bit so that his balance is really challenged coming off that line. Okay? Now, a little more pull. A little more pull. What we don't want to do on this is turn the other way, Lawrence. Is to be doing this. Okay? And what else we don't want to do is for me to jerk it real hard and Lawrence purposely let it go and have him flying off into the wild blue. So we gotta tell the kids that there's a specific way to do this. So let's try this with your partners, guys. Walk along the line, a little jostling, firm, challenge him, a little more athletic position there, Tony. Hands in the pockets. There you go. There you go. Okay, you guys are being kind of nice to one another. You got the young guys that you could really challenge. There you go. Challenge the young guys. Okay, good. Okay, so when we're working with little bitty kids, we're trying to tell them a story. So this whole business of a cliff and falling into the water and alligators and all that kind of stuff, kids like that kind of stuff. They like to see that even though we're just doing something simple as walking along a line, that there's a consequence to it. Now, get a different partner. Same size, try to stay same size. And there's a reason for this. So let's demonstrate this. So Dan and William, come on over here. And now you're on opposite sides of the line and you're holding on to it. Pick a leg. And now it's a tug of war. Now you need to back up so you're evenly spaced between one. Now it's a tug of war. So Dan's up. Here we go. Okay, good. Now, what will we naturally do when we're doing this particular exercise is we would grab the leg that we're used to doing most things with and the arm that we're used to doing most things with, and this would be a kind of a one-sided event. So let's do this. Let's do the opposite leg, opposite arm. See if there's any different result. Opposite leg, opposite arm. Here we go. Okay, so we want to operate this whole system in a bilateral manner. Everybody try it, okay? Everybody try it. Be gentle with one another. Again, this is one of these things we want to be specific with our instructions. This is not putting 100-pound, 10-year-old Timmy with 40-pound Susie. You know? And this is not jerking. This is just pulling. Come on. All right, good. So balance. What else can we think of? You guys that are out here, Robert, who's just played for Baylor, some of you guys who work with senior people, Lane, who works with senior people, what else can we do in the way of balance for athletic skill development? Richard?
One leg up and swing the other leg.
Okay, come show me, Richard. So you're just swinging the leg like this, okay? This is what we used to do in martial arts years ago. Knee circles. Not bad for an old guy, huh? Knee circles. So we can try it on the other side. Try that. Knee circles. Going forward, would Stan consider this thing right here, or lane, a dynamic warm-up of dynamic stretching, if we're doing this? In martial arts, they used to make us do this just so we could loosen the hamstrings and go higher and higher and higher, and you had to keep the heel on the ground, okay? Higher, 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 and maybe do it here, here. Let me do it left-sided. Here, here, here. That's good balance stuff, right? Okay, good. Now, let's look at another one would be shuffling. Obviously, everybody can do this, right? Shuffling back and forth. Is that good for balance? What would be a checklist that we're looking for as we're doing this? Posture, okay? Good posture, more upright posture. What else? Stay level, not bouncing, right? So we're trying to stay level. Okay, what else? What's visual eye straight ahead? Okay. Instead of head down. Anything else? Some flex here, right? This athletic position that we're talking about. Okay. So that's one thing that we can do. What about a karaoke step? Does everybody know what a karaoke step is? Can everybody do it?
Kids have a lot of trouble.
Huh? Kids have a lot of trouble, right? The older people have a lot of trouble too? This thing has that whole Benjamin Button effect. We can not do it, we can do it, and then we cannot do it. You know? Who can do it very well? Yes. Very good, very good. So Robert, come do one real quick here. Karaoke, and you find a lot of world-class players because they're looking at this foot coming behind and this foot and maintaining that balance and that upright position and everything. Okay, that's good. Let's talk about agility now. What would agility be? You're agile. The ability to change directions. Okay? Who's agile out here? Young people. Who's it? William F. Buckley said the youth is wasted on the young. Nice redundant statement. So, if we're going to be agile, we can create some little agility activities. Who has seen Butch Staples? Okay? Butch is famous for just inventing little agility activities. So if I get, what is your name? Cody? So if I get, who's seen kids play hopscotch? Okay? So here, Cody. This is how I want you to start. So I want you to do here to here to here with little hops. Okay? Yeah, so you go. Yeah, go back the other opposite way. Good. Okay? So we're doing these hops. Maybe we're doing this, you know, maybe a complete 360, that sort of stuff. And we do short hops, then we maybe increase it. So Dan and William set up something that's a little more challenging. Okay? Real quick. You got 30 seconds to set up something challenging. Yeah. And when I do these types of these little exercises here, I don't want to just show people, here's what you do. I want people to begin thinking on the floor. This is part of the whole USGA workshop thing. You set it up, you begin thinking. In my experience of doing these things, I've learned as much from the audience is they're hoping to learn from me. All right, so who's going to demonstrate it? Okay. Okay. Excellent, excellent. Here's what I would like to see someone do, is I want to see you do this, but I want you to land very, very lightly. I want you to land like you've got the worst arthritic knees of anybody here. And you're landing lightly on the balls of your feet, so that when you're landing, you're not landing in, you know, where you feel the earth shake, but you're landing, and I can't even do it, but let's let the young guy do it. Excellent, excellent. Barely hurting. Who watches professional tennis and has watched Racket Nadal play? And Jack Bilateral referred to Racket Nadal as the blue-collar tennis player. And he said that you could sit on a court next to Racket Nadal practicing, and all you're hearing is, and as his feet hit the court. And he says that he calls that blue-collar tennis because there's just a tremendous amount of work going on. And he says he could be on the court next to Roger Federer, and all you're hearing is pop, 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 pop. You don't hear a foot strike, you hear no grunting, you hear nothing. It's just this light, airy, almost balletic type of a movement. So that was pretty good there, Robert, to lighten that up. Now, when we're talking about this agility, do we do anybody do plyometrics in their programs with the kids? Plyometrics? What are plyometrics? What is it? Explosive movements, mostly legs, and so one explosive movement might be something as simple as just jumping up, jumping out, jumping to the side, that sort of stuff, okay? So, the two, let me have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me have the 5 seasoned folks create a little quick plyometric course for me, okay? Plyometric. So it's explosive. Okay, real quick. You can confirm with one another. You guys sitting there safe in the bleachers. Okay. Now, as you create this course, keep in mind one of you is going to have to demonstrate. Okay. Okay. So we're talking about agility. We're not just talking jumping. So who's going to demonstrate? He's ready. Okay. Okay, show us. Okay, excellent, excellent. Quick, explosive movements. A lot of people, if all the pros weren't using them this week, we would have had these step-up boards where people are jumping up on the boards and jumping down on the boards, and they set them at different heights. Or we have the little, in fact, we could do this. Now this is for the younger guys, and this is for the older guys. So create a little barrier that you've got to jump over. Now you guys have got a little challenge here, okay? Okay, so your goal is going to be this right here, okay? We're trying to keep these guys from falling over. There you go. Okay. Go ahead, create something for me really quick. Good. Who was it that said one leg? Okay. So this is perfect for us guys. We got the 2-inch vertical leap going. So we're all good for these guys. But who said one leg? Who said that we could do something with one leg, or we're doing it with just one leg? Okay. Go ahead. Do whatever you want to do. Excellent, excellent. Lots of different movement. Are we at a game of where we think that we do this all the time on the court? I think a lot of us do. All right, show us. What do you guys have? Yeah, you actually, I can see some air there. That was good. Okay, so we've done that. Now, this is something we do with the little kids right here. And this is just a little simple drill, quickness drill, agility drill called ball drop. So come on over, guys. Everybody come on over. Let's kind of shuffle this stuff off to the side, okay? Like we would. Pals and everything, just kind of stage it over there. Okay. Yeah. Just sliced our arm off. So this is simple. This is, Dan is going to turn his back to me. And we've done this before. And I'll call his name, and Dan's got to turn around and get the ball before it bounces, whichever one I drop. Dan? Okay. Pretty good. A little quickness there. Dan? Good, good. So we can modify that, right? We've got somebody, all right, so I've got Gordon. So Gordon turn. Gordon. All right, I didn't test Gordon. Gordon. All right, so we can play with that a little. This little quickness drill, the kids like that a lot. So the racket quickness drill that we do, the kids like this a lot because what we tell them is as you become more successful with this, we want to increase the distance. So let me have one of y'all and one of y'all. This will be kind of fun. Okay, rackets on the touching, okay. And what you have to do is switch positions and keep the rackets from falling. So think about your positioning. I would say let's do this, okay? And which way are you going to move? Yeah, you got to figure that out so you don't run. Ready, go. Okay, increase the distance. Ready, go. Increase the distance. Ready, go. Oh my goodness, let's keep increasing the distance. Now, here's the important thing here. This is a partner drill, right? So as we're leaving the racket, we're not going to leave the racket and go and head off there. We've got to find a way to keep this racket up and vertical for our, because it's not successful unless we both do it. Ready, go. Okay. Now, let's have a little contest here. Okay? Let's have the seniors versus the juniors. Okay? And let's see how we can get this thing going.
Which ones are the seniors?
I don't know. The seasoned versus the juniors. Okay? And y'all can pick anybody that you want to as a representative. So juniors, y'all go ahead and see how far you can go, okay? A couple of you, that's fine. A couple of you guys try it. We got it, look guys, it's got to be more than 2 feet. Yeah. You get him, and you gotta get one of these guys. Okay. Yeah. Oh God, here we go. Go. Now somebody will have to say go in each group. Someone will have to say go. There you go. All right, all right. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Now, everybody come in real quick. There's a version of this that you can do with little kids that they like, and it's everybody getting into a circle. Everybody get into a circle. Everybody holding your racket down. Closer circle. Close, close, close. Close, close. Everybody got their racket? Okay. And then when you tell kids, all right, I want you to move clockwise or counterclockwise, they have no idea what you're talking about. They've never seen a watch with a dial on it. So you want to say, let's everybody move to the right. One space. Ready, go. Oh my goodness. Keep pushing it over. Ready, go. Okay. Opposite direction, ready, go. Open the space up. Yes, everybody take a step back. To the right, ready, go. This is a really great large group activity for kids, by the way. You can get 10 or 15 kids in one little cluster. And they're challenging. If you do this group versus this group versus this group, and you have a name for each group, you know, the Apaches, and in Louisiana, everything's either Saints or Tigers or Cajuns, you know, so that's a good little activity. Okay, put the rackets over there. Now, this one is another good little agility drill that we do. And again, we can mix you guys up. And this is just called circle dodgeball. And the only rule we have here, let's see, give me a couple more people out here. Just a couple more. Yeah, come on out. Down here, instead of you guys standing back to get in line, you guys will fan out and volley over these guys to your partner. So now you got volleys here, and you got volleys here. Okay, you hear what I'm saying? So that, wait, stop. Everybody back this way. Let's start. And the first guys will do fan back and come back this way. Let's see if we can do this. Ready, go. Yeah. No ground strokes. There we go. Watch the heads. There you go. And stop. That's pretty good. You know, it's actually pretty hard to do with that low compression ball. You see you guys back here really trying to hit it and launch it. Okay. I like that drill. I think it's a pretty good little coordination drill. And racket skills drill. We've done the plyometrics. Tracking. If someone was to say to me years ago, what's the hardest thing for a beginning tennis player to grasp, I would have said, well, you know, making contact with the ball and hitting the ball. Well, we just gave it a tremendous amount of research through their score of science, and they found that the most difficult thing is tracking. Now, if I was going to define tracking, or have one of you define tracking, what would that be? What does it mean to track the ball? Follow the ball when it leaves the racket. Say that again? Into the strike. Okay, into the strike zone. Because Wayne and I were sitting listening to Stan talking about strike zone. Into the strike zone. The correct strike zone. So the right distance from the body, the right height, and everything else. And that's the most difficult thing that beginners have trouble with. How many of you watch adult league tennis, 2-5, 3-5? And do you see a lot of really gorgeous balanced strokes out there? Do you?
No, but I find what's most difficult about beginner players is running into the bounce, you know. I mean, they're running into the, so I think tracking to the bounce is important.
Yeah. So we're talking about, I like what you're saying there, tracking to the bounce. Because in tennis, it's about sending and receiving, right? And we're talking about receiving, and if we played other sports, we played basketball, we played soccer, we played baseball, we're going to the ball. In the case of baseball, we're going right to the flight of the ball. We're not off to the side, right? That's unnatural. And in tennis, we like to tell people in tracking, we have two flights. And we have to be very concerned about that second flight. The first flight comes in and bounces. The second flight is off the bounce. And this is where we've got to do the right thing. So let's talk a little bit about tracking. There's a couple of things we can do for tracking. Just something simple. Come on over this way. And you've got to put the racket down. And it's something very simple as me telling you which hand to catch it in, and you just moving to the ball, okay? That's a pretty simple tracking exercise, right? We can even do it with little kids, we can do it as rolling, where they're having to catch it in a certain spot. Now maybe I tell Bob, now Bob, I want you to catch this ball, but you've got to catch it on your right hip with your hand touching your right hip. Would that make it a lot more difficult? Okay, so Bob's got to go. That's your hand, not your elbow. Yeah, just right like that, okay? So here we go. Now, the interesting thing when we do these little tracking exercises is if you're going to catch it here with a low compression ball, you may have to be in this position. And that's how many of us bend our knees? I mean, seriously. So let's make it fun. So come on out. Bob, thank you. Get your racket. And then we just do something simple. Is say, I want you to hold your racket in this position with your elbow and trap the ball on the strings with the other hand. So it bounces and you just trap it because your elbow can't leave. Okay? And so then I begin tossing, catch, yeah, toss. Okay, but I'm going to have to hit a forehand there, huh? I didn't even touch with the backhand yet, have I? There you go. And when we do drills with the little kids on the 36-foot court, we teach them just the forehand and get them moving so they can move around and understand tracking pretty quickly. And maybe I toss him a high ball. There, look at this. He's found the strike zone with good footwork. Coming forward, there you go. And so we can do little tossing drills with the kids. The wonderful thing is you can have 25 kids out here in a partner situation and then working with one another. And the coach is walking around, being the orchestra leader, figuring this whole thing out. So that's a simple tracking exercise. We'll set that down. Let's see, look at the young guy. Gary, put your racket down and everything. We do this with the kids sometimes too. All right, you got to get this on the first bounce, Gary. Yeah, that's, you know, does a baseball outfielder have to be good at tracking? Okay? Yeah. And we tell them which hand they have to catch it in, or which side of the body. We can do something simple like that, or even something like this with the little bitty kids. They love that. I would do this with the little bitty kids and give them a cone, and have them run and catch the ball with the cone. Okay, thank you. Okay, now, two more things real quickly. Difficult for little kids to catch a tennis ball. You'll find out a little bit about their fine motor skills and their gross motor skills. So if Lane was going to come up to me, Clear Lane, and I'm a little kid and my fine motor skills aren't developed, and Lane was to toss me a ball and it's going to bounce first, here's what you would see. Okay? Because this is how they catch when their fine motor skills aren't developed. So it's best when you're working with those kids to be using a larger ball to help them with tracking exercises. So as I get better, go ahead, then I can begin to reach out and do this. Everything is inward with little kids. And they've got a balance issue too. Until they're 7 or 8 years old, their head is much larger in proportion to their body. You ever notice little kids fall down a lot? I think that's part of it. You know? And fortunately, it doesn't crack open like an egg, so we're all good. All right, so this next tracking drill, let me get William, and let me get Gary, and we're on this area right here, this service box and this service box. Put your racket down. And now we're going to play tennis without a racket, and it's just tracking, okay? When you toss the ball, once you catch the ball, you have to toss it underhanded from where you are. And to make this more effective, let's toss this either left side or right side, so we're working on some swing patterns here. But you got to toss it from where you catch it. You can't run up and create something. All right, let's play a couple of points. Go. Challenge them. Now we begin, those kids will begin to understand court space, tracking. There you go. You got to keep it in the lines, Gary. This is tennis. There you go. And as the kids stop, thank you, as the kids get a little bit better, maybe now their fine motor skills have gotten better. Now we're doing it with this. Okay, go. Go. There you go. Oh, yes. Excellent. Got your hand. Oh, look at this. All right. All right. Everybody gets competitive when they do this. Now, for the more advanced kids, the last thing I'll show you, and I saw this in Carson at the high performance training, and it was a question of tracking, but then it was a question of some tremendous core building and strength building exercises. Does anybody use the wall ball? Okay? This is the wall ball, and in Carson, they're throwing it into this wall, and they're working on their core. Okay? This is a 12-pound ball. This is a pretty heavy ball. Okay? So, let me have Robert and Dan come out, and now y'all are going to play tennis without a racket with this. You want to warm up first? Give me bounce it. There you go. You hear it hit the ground, it's like a mastodon. Okay. Now, yes. Overhead smash. All right, so I want you to play 1 point. Okay, 1 point. We played out there, we played an entire 7-point game with 2 really young college players. By the time the 7-point game was over, they were dripping wet. They were holding their arms like they had lost them. 1 point. If you get up close, everything is underhanded. There's no smashing in this. Although this is one of those things that they could go back and forth and work this motion here. You're working that overhead and those muscles here. All right, 1 point. Bring your equipment back, okay? Thank you. And thank you. So when we work, what I hope that we got out of this is that we have stuff that we can do with little kids that will develop agility, balance, coordination, and strength, but it can be fun. And that's the main thing. Look, if they're 7 and 8 years old, and you've got a kid who's tremendously coordinated, and a kid who's not tremendously coordinated, and you've got a big group, you've got to work to help the great kid, but you've got to work to the level of the not-so-great kid. And in those situations, what I find is I will take the great kid, the great natural athlete, and we don't know a lot about talent ID before 10 years old or before puberty because the body changes afterwards. But we can take those talented kids, those other little kids look up to, and we can have them become mentors and helpers. And look, I want you to build healthcare, and I want you to work with them and that sort of stuff. So we keep these cliques from forming in the groups and that sort of stuff. So we want to make it fun, but who was it that said earlier, Stan made the comment, that so-and-so was just a really good athlete. Is it being a good athlete an advantage in this sport? 40 years ago, was it as much of an advantage? The game was a lot different than it is now. And I think that if we want to create a complete player, we want her to have fun, we want to keep them in the sport, I want you all to arm yourselves with as much of this information as you possibly can. Coming to these workshops, and I see a lot of new faces here, and I love seeing the U30s here, and maybe the old 30s as well. But a lot of this stuff is available through Mike Barrell's website. A lot of this stuff is youthtennis.com. A lot of this is tennis play and stay, which is the ITF website. So this stuff is all out there, and I hope you'll take advantage of it. So thank you.